All right.
Do it.
A lot of you have shared that you have questions like about like social media and stuff like that. So we're just gonna go over the stuff that we use in different apps and stuff like that, okay? Oh. So basically the topics that we're gonna talk about today are apps, your photos, your stories, and your posts, okay? And how to do it all. Hold on. Thanks, Melissa. Is that better? Okay. Anyway. All right. So the apps that among the three of us that we use for our photos, so like editing our photos, side by sides, collages, any of that kind of stuff, is Lightroom, Photify, Snapseed, PicMonkey, InShot, and I use Foodie. I use it all the time to take pictures of my food. I don't know. I was listening to a podcast like months ago. I don't even remember which one it was, and the person who was on there said that they always use Foodie to take pictures of their food because you can use different filters and stuff, and it like highlights the different kinds of foods that are in there. I know I personally use, of the ones that are listed here, Lightroom. You can get presets on Etsy. You can get them for very cheap, like $4 or less actually, to kind of give your grid on Instagram like a themed sort of look. So I use that to edit my photos, and then I also use InShot a lot for like my side-by-side pictures, and I use Foodie. Val, do you want to talk about the other ones that you use?
Yeah. So you use InShot for like your just when you have a before and after? Is that what you use? And because I've not heard of that one.
Yeah. That's what I use it for.
So for my before and afters, I use Photify, and the reason why I like it is because I found that some of the other ones that I was trying to use, I couldn't enlarge or make the screen also smaller, I guess you could say. So enlarge and like make it fit the screen when I was doing before and afters. So I don't know who I heard Photify from, but I like it because you can do before and afters. You can make sort of collages with it, and that's what I tend to use. I also like if there's a photo that doesn't quite fit Instagram, I go in there and I just open it up, and then I can click portrait, and it will actually help it to shrink to fit Instagram. So that's why I like Photify. And then you can also kind of tweak the image a little bit too, but I mostly use Snapseed. It's a really good one to edit your photo. And I was like, I mean, as soon as I started playing around with it, I noticed a huge difference in lightening up your photos. Like your photos are what's going to catch people's eyes. So when you are doing your photo, you want to make sure that it is light and it's not dark, and that you're kind of using the same consistent lighting, because it does make a difference. Like that, I'm still kind of tweaking mine. Like Amber, she has it where she uses the same one with Instagram. I kind of do. I've been switching back and forth, but it really goes hand in hand with your brand of making using the same filter or using the same sort of lighting per se. So this helps with that, and it can help with that consistency. So I use Photify a lot. I use Snapseed all the time. let's see, what is the other one? PicMonkey I use when you have one picture and you want to put another picture in the picture. That's a great one to use. I also have it that I use on my phone, and I can do like a picture and then I implant another picture in the picture, and it works like magic. So those are those apps for
I
your
forgot
photos.
about PicPlay posts as well.
What is it?
Play.
What did you say? Pick, play, something?
On like when we tried to put together. What's that?
Yes, I know where you're going with this, Tiffany. The summer.
Yeah, for our
Mhm.
yes. Yeah. That was one.
What is
that-
it called?
I forgot about that
Pick,
one.
play,
But
something.
I don't use PicPlay post. I'll type it.
Thank you. And you use Lightroom too, right?
Oh gosh. Yeah. I
Where
don't
did you find your presets?
I bought like a couple on Etsy, and then you can also look on Pinterest.
Okay.
So there's some that you can download there as well. So no, it doesn't do the whole Instagram. It's yeah, like a picture at a time. So I'll try to see if it's updating. Never mind. I was gonna say,
So I have Lightroom, but I noticed on Amber's, I just have a quick question. So like you have that look though. Your whole look is the same, but is that because you obviously been using it for a while? But what happens about like the photos from before, you know?
They just stay how they are.
Okay.
yeah, I've been changing mine. Like I had a different one in the winter, and then I kind of like brightened them up for summer. But if you go like all the way back, they're like it's different. And then I started lightening it up here.
Yeah, and that doesn't really matter. Like, really, what it's like, okay, so it's your storefront, and it's okay to evolve on your Instagram. Like, it's okay for it to not to like mismatch when you're trying to find your lighting and your brand. So don't worry about that.
No, here's how Lightroom looks. Like you can see these are all my presets like over here, and then when you open them you can see like where I've edited the lighting and stuff. So you just adjust it in there, and then you can download that, and then it makes it look all the same. There's I think I've watched like 1 or 2 YouTube videos on how to do it. It's pretty easy though.
Yeah, it is really easy once you do it.
One, so like it's a little bit different for an Android than it is for an iPhone. So I would just search like Lightroom preset mobile app for whatever you have, like iPhone, Android. And it literally takes like 4 minutes to do.
Any other questions about the apps for your photos? Okay. All right, so these are apps, the most, at least from my understanding, these are the most popular ones. I use Canva for a lot of things, to make any sort of like image. I mean, I'm in Canva right now. I use this for presentations, anything like that. You definitely have the option to do different stories and stuff. The Mojo app has like animated options, which are pretty cool. And then the Unfold app, that also, does Unfold have animations? I don't know if it does or not, but I use Unfold honestly more than I use Mojo. But I think part of that is because I just have saved stories from before, so I go in and just edit them to kind of update them a little bit. But
Is it animated? I don't think, unless maybe you pay for that. But you can add like a video, like say you want to add like a workout clip or something. You can add that instead of a photo.
yeah,
But
yes,
it's
maybe that's what I'm
Or it's
thinking.
not animated. Yeah.
Oh, that's also another good point. I don't pay for my apps. Well, I pay for some of them, but none of these. None of the ones that we've really mentioned. Um, I don't pay for those. I paid for my presets in Lightroom, but that's it.
That's what I was going to ask you. So, because I don't have Lightroom, I just tried to use the same sort of filter, but I have found that I'm like tweaking and lightening up to like, I'm like, oh, that looks good, you know, and I like my photos to be bright, but I think using a preset, no matter how you're editing, it automatically makes it that same tone. Is that correct?
Yes.
it's
So
kind of
like
it.
I bought some presets, like a set of presets off from Etsy, and they had like more pink underlying tones. So there's 4 different options. So I would like, whenever I had a photo, I would go in and click like which one I liked better, and then I would use that. Full disclosure, I have been, my best friend, like since kindergarten, is a photographer. So I've been talking to her about like branding and like that kind of stuff, and like how to get the look that I've been like kind of wanting. So I sent her pictures with like colors and stuff like that in the spaces that I take photos in the most, and she has made me presets that work for me. But you can go in and look on Etsy. If you just type in presets, you could do, because I love the color purple. So like, that's like one of my things. Like I love the color purple. It's in my hair, love it. So I typed in like purple presets or purple tone presets because that's kind of the look that I wanted. Does that make sense? So you can actually go in and find, like, if you want ones that make your pictures stand out, like bright white, you know, all that kind of stuff, you can search for stuff like that. Okay.
Well, it's funny, like guys, I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's one thing that it's not something that's totally necessary, but it's something like I need to do this. Like I'm like, oh, I would like to do this, but it obviously like it's great for your photos to look the same, but it's not going to make or break your business. So I just want you to know that.
No.
These are just things to help. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Just a little tip.
No. I mean, you don't have to get stressed out or anything like that at all. I mean, God, if you look at like my pictures in the beginning, I remember Katie Urso when I was in a pod with her. She was like, yeah, don't do that. It was like last year, March, I was in a pod with her, and I used to put like words like right across my photos, and she was like, don't do that. And I was like, okay. But I didn't know. So it's all what makes you comfortable, but you don't have to stress over it. It's whatever you like. So those are really what we use for stories, I think, among at least like the 3 of us, and those are the most popular ones I hear of, right?
Yeah, and I will also say these are just to use like if you're telling a story, like you have something that you really want to get across and you want it to look beautiful.
Like the sale that we're talking about.
Like the sale, like some of the ones that we've shared with you guys, but this is not what we use every day. Like literally, you need to be simple for every day.
And real too.
And real. And so just using what they give you in Instagram and in Facebook in the stories is it's great. Like that's what you use for every day. But this is for like, yeah, the sale, for when you're talking about your journey, like you want to tell a little story about your journey and how you've gotten where you've gone or whatever. So
yeah. All right. These are video apps. So obviously, like, use your camera, take a video, edit, that kind of thing. I didn't mean to write iVideo. I so meant to write iMovie. But I had video in my head when I typed it. So
no big deal.
That's why it says it. I'm like, what's iVideo? It's supposed to be iMovie. Triller, and then Mojo is also another one that you can do for. Okay, Tiff, do you have the chat? Are you manning the chat? Thank you. But yeah, Triller is like really fun now that I figured out how to use it. But do you have any questions about any of these?
I'm gonna answer Melissa's question. So I believe you're talking about like my workout videos. Is that what you mean? Okay. So when I'm doing, I usually pick 3 to 4 snippets of my workout. Like, ooh, I'm gonna showcase this. Usually I know what moves that I don't want to be showing because for whatever reason, I mean, I try to change it up, and there's not really like, I don't know. You just, you know, kind of like, oh, this would be a really good one to use, I guess, in stories. So what I just do is literally I go to my camera and I click video. So you literally go to your camera icon, you click on video, and I video the clip. So some people have it, I usually have it set up by where I'm working out, and then I just hit record, and I record that move, and then I stop it. If it's a minute move or it's a 30-second move. And then when I'm done with the workout, I go back to the actual video and I just edit it in iMovie. If you have an iPhone, it's iMovie. And then you can actually clip off the beginning and the end. So I get it to where I want it because it's a 15-second segment. And sometimes it's longer than that. So you can actually just do like a minute clip and it will do each 15 seconds of that minute clip if you want, or I just do a 15-second and then I add it, and then I add the music to it from Instagram. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I add the music, whatever song I want, and then I add my verbiage in that slide, and then I hit to Facebook and Instagram. And so it shows both. That's how I do it. I don't know if anybody has a better way they do it or whatever, but that's how I do my 3 to 4.
I used to do it your way too, Val. Then once I figured out how to do Triller,
Yeah.
I record like the moves. I do the 60-minute and then 30, it's not 60-minute, 30 seconds. And then like I do it on speed, like when it records. So then I just work out and it records me for that time, and then go and I have it shuffle, and then it ends up being like 2 slides of like
I get it.
a
Yeah.
bunch of different-
So I was doing Triller for my workouts, but then I do Triller for the pre-workout, and then I just have been doing like motivational things, or
Mhm.
like I add, you know, verbiage to my workouts, and I just usually do 15-second clips of different moves.
Yep.
But you can do it how you want it.
Say too, like if you go to just like your Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and you go like scroll over to the hands free,
Yes.
you can like apply your filters, and then if you like kind of hold it in, it'll give you a 3-second countdown, and that's what I do. And then like each move in 21 Day Fix is a minute, so as it goes it will do 4 clips, and you can kind of go to like each move in 21 Day Fix is a minute, so as it goes at the top, like the little arrow, you can save it, the clip, to your phone and then Discord the video. Like, so then you only have like a 15-second of
That
you.
makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of things.
Oh yeah.
Any questions about that? Cool. So a couple apps that you want to make sure that you definitely have are the BB Links app, if you don't have that. This is an app that you can actually put your coach ID in and have the link to whatever it is. Like if you're talking to somebody on Messenger or something and they just want Beachbody on Demand, or they want to take a look at like a challenge pack or something like that, you can go into the links, you can find it, and then you can just send it right there. And if they purchase from that link, it'll go to you when you have their ID in there. I don't know how it is for Android, but I know for Coach Office, you or any thing for that matter, any website, you can actually make it an app on your phone. So I have this with my Coach Office, so it's easy to access. Is there anything else that you guys can think of that would be helpful?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I did forget the IG fonts. I did the same thing with that, where you like go to the website and then you can leave it as like an app. So that's the one where you get like the fancy word. If you just type in IG fonts, it will take you to the website, and you can make your like words different fonts and styles and things like that.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay muted just because he's being a crybaby.
You're fine.
Did you say the Coach Office Home you have as a app, an app? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like if you're in, let me do it so I can tell you exactly how to do it. So if you're in, let me see here. Like your, like Safari,
Yeah.
and you click, like, and you go to teambeachbody.com or Coach Office or whatever, right? Like, cause you just go to the internet.
Okay.
At the bottom, you see how there's like the back arrow, the forward arrow, and then there's like the share thing. It's like the square with the arrow in it. And then the next thing is a book, like if you wanted to bookmark it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
If you hit that share button and
Uh-huh.
scroll down,
Uh-huh.
click add to home screen,
Okay.
and it'll add it to your home screen like an app,
Huh.
so that you don't have to keep going. I have this for a few different websites that I use all the time.
So would you say you use BB Links more, or do you use your Coach Office Home?
So I used to use BB Links all the time,
Yeah.
but now I use ShareCart more often.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's what I do. I share a cart. Like
Yeah.
I don't like I was just telling my coaches, I don't think it's good just to send someone a link.
mhm.
I think controlling the controllable and you're actually taking care of that customer service when you customize that link
Mhm.
and you send it to them instead of just giving them a link
Yeah.
to view.
Yeah. Not also like if they want to add something else in too, like say they want to buy a salted caramel next week, but you also know they're terrible at digestion, you add the boost in too with it because you've already had that conversation.
Oh.
So it's an easy way to say like I've added this in because you also told me about that, and it customizes it for them.
Yep.
I dropped a picture in the thread too, like how it looks on Android when you do the like app or home screen thing. Whenever it'll just take you to that website. So I do that for Coach Office, and then also for like our mompreneur website to like log in there too sometimes. Melissa, was that the question that you asked? Because I saw that you guys had that like mashup video of like all of the tags from the pre-workout. Like you have like 4 or 5 of them in one instead of sharing. Or is that through your Photify?
Wait, who were you asking that question to? Sorry.
I think you and Amber both had it where you put all the pre-workout dance party clips like in one.
Yeah, I actually haven't. I've not done that. Megan Blanca does it. I don't know what she uses, and I think Amber asked Megan.
She uses that pick, play, post, but when I do it, because I've done it,
Did it the other day.
yeah, I've done it a couple times. I use Unfold. Unfold, yep. That's what I use, and I just add it in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Allison, did you raise your hand?
I did. So for Unfold, I don't know if you're finding this because you told me about that. I see that when you have the free app, or maybe I'm not using it right, but it's like if you want to do multiple people, like it can cut you off. There's only like a few options of kind of the layout piece, and it has like all the, I know you can put backgrounds and stuff, but do you like a certain one that like you do? Because I can't find one that seems to like shrink, like Val was talking about, kind of, the shrinking issue. And then we look funny with like our heads chopped off.
You mean like, is there a certain slide to use?
Yeah, like do you find the free ones, it's like hard to fit everybody in? Do you find that or not really? Maybe I just am not practiced enough.
I just like move the thing because it doesn't, like when I do it for the dance parties and stuff,
Yeah.
some of them are smaller than the others. So I
Okay.
just like move it enough so that it's on there.
Okay. I just wondered.
Does
if
that
there
make
was-
sense?
Yeah. No, I just wondered if there was something I was like missing on there because it looked fairly tight on the screen for me. But work around it,
No.
right?
Also, like when you download from Unfold to your phone and you go to put it into Instagram, you will have to like
Yeah.
because then otherwise, like sometimes your words will get cut off
Mhm.
Okay.
that way.
Yeah.
So you just kind of like move them down a little bit.
Okay.
So these are really just some tips that I was thinking of. The biggest thing, I mean, you definitely want to make sure that when you share things, you're just telling your story and that you're not just like trying to sell all the time. And tell a story so that you're actually like talking about the picture that you're posting and not just like slapping a picture up there or not putting a picture there, like if you're doing it on Facebook. And then like basically just take people on your journey. And for stories, the thing that I hear the most is to do like 7 to 10 stories a day. If you do more than that, I think it's, okay. But you definitely, I mean, don't overload your people unless you're doing something that's like really awesome and people need to know about it. Usually post in your feed once a day. Create engagement in your stories and in your feed. So like when you're doing stories and stuff, like do polls and questions, any of that kind of thing. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be something that is like, are you interested in joining my group? You could say like, how do you like your coffee? Or like what's your favorite color? Like something to get your audience engaging with you. And then, I mean, really, the thing that I hear the most is that we use social media for the purpose of what it was created for. Basically, you're making friends, you're engaging with people, making new connections. Melanie Mitro always says she's a professional friend maker. So that's like what I kind of keep in mind is that I'm literally just trying to make friends with people and get to know other people and that kind of thing. Does that help? I think that's the last slide. Oh, I lied. I got one more. Some other things that I was thinking of, because I personally have had, like with all this stuff, I've needed this too, to set business hours, work in the pockets of your time, use your tracker. So the business activity tracker, as long as you're doing the things that are actually on that tracker, that is the minimum of anything that you need to be doing. Those are like literally your income producing activities. And if you are only doing the things that are on your tracker every single day, that's all you really need to be doing. And then, I mean, you'll grow your business from there, because all of the things that we need to do to grow our businesses are on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like focusing on the income producing activities. Like if you take away like some apps that you want to implement, make sure you're doing those first. Like make a list like, oh, I want to like look up a filter. So if you have your work done for the day, like then you go and look at the filters and do that in your like other time. You don't want to like spend 3 hours getting sucked into Etsy looking for filters and not be doing anything that's making you an income. Like I bought the Make She Cabin Planner, like I don't even know how long ago, and it took quarantine for me to actually open it up and like look at it, because I was like, well, I have to do all of these other things first, and then that was always like on my to-do list, but never got done until I had nothing to do. So definitely make a list of things that you want to do, and then
one thing that I started doing too, because I would get really wrapped up in feeling like the stuff that I needed to be doing was never done, is Tiffany and I actually talked about power hours. So a lot of people do power hours and stuff, but I didn't actually know like how to do them, or like what actually would go in them, because a lot of people do them differently. But I bought a timer to help me stay on track, but I set the timer for 20 minutes and I send out invites. I set the timer for 20 minutes and I create connections with people I do 10 minutes on Facebook and 10 minutes on Instagram. You do 20 minutes of like commenting back and following up and that kind of stuff. And then that's literally an hour of income producing activities that you're doing. And so I have another thing where every Monday I send out an email to everybody who is a challenger and a coach, and I check in on them. And I say, hey, like, I'm just checking in on you. Do you need anything? So I have specific days that I do things. So on Mondays, I also schedule out all of my posts in my challenge groups. So I'm not doing my challenge group posts every single day, and I'm not checking in with like random people throughout the week. I'm following up with all of my people on this day, because otherwise I personally was feeling like I was spiraling and not being able to control or stay organized with all of the things. So I had to create a day of the week that I would actually do the things that I needed to do. Does that make sense? So like, I mean, even for me, when you know how when you hit Success Club 6 and you're an Emerald coach and you get your customer leads in the following month, I was constantly trying to keep up with those. So now I have one day a week where I take all of those new leads and I put them into my email, because I can't do that every single day. So I choose one day a week, it's Thursdays, that I do that, because then those people are in my email list for when I send out emails, over the weekend or whatever.
And can I interject for 1 second? Because I don't think some of my new coaches know about this, but when you hit Emerald, like Amber was saying, the company rewards you when you hit that block or that first milestone. They reward you when you hit Success Club. So there's 2 types of rewards they give you. They first give you customer leads, which means they divide it up between everyone in the company that is Emerald and above and who hits Success Club 6. And so if somebody goes into Team Beachbody and they want to buy or they want to sign up for a coach account, they will be assigned a coach. And a lot of people don't realize that. And they give you these leads, and this is your opportunity to connect with people who are looking for whatever for their health and fitness. So that's the first one that they give you. If you hit Success Club 10, they give you free Shakeology leads, which means income. So that immediately, if